This video is going to be on how to start a wall hanger. You're going to need a wooden stick, embroidery floss, scissors, and tape. This video is only going to be on how to start a wall hanger. I'm not going to go into full detail on how to completely make an entire wall hanger. So let's get started on how to make one. Okay, so I'm going to use black embroidery floss. I have DMC number 310. I have my scissors and I have my wooden stick. And I have the tape, I think it's called masking tape. I bought at Walmart. It's like $3 or $4. Which, by the way, I purchased my embroidery floss at Michael's or Walmart. Either or. I don't purchase it anywhere else. And I buy DMC floss. Okay, so starting off with the wooden stick. I bought a pack of wooden sticks in a 16-pack at Walmart for like $2. I seen some at Michael's, but they were too expensive and they were not like a lot of them in a package. So I didn't want to, I went to another store to see if I could find a better deal. So they're actually really long. The one that I bought, you can literally probably find better ones. My Walmart really doesn't carry good stuff. So that's the only thing that I could find. This is the one I'm currently doing. I would take up pliers and cut the sides of it. And then if the pieces I cut off are long enough, I'll just reuse them, and that's how I would do it. Which, by the way, if you feel like you can't cut it, I would suggest you asking someone for help. All right, so we're gonna start off with the stick, and I'm gonna grab the embroidery floss, and this is one that I did. The top, you're gonna count how many string you're gonna need. For example, this was an odd number of string. I believe it was like 37. So this is how it would look when you started off, and this is how the back would look. I did not cut 37. I cut 38 to make it 38, and I didn't use the last string, and I tied it to the back of this one. And which, by the way, I need super glue to fix that. I haven't fixed it yet. This character is actually Itachi from the anime Naruto. Okay, so what I would do first is I would cut a piece of string. When you fold it in half, I believe it's around 7 or 8 inches long. I personally do not measure my string. I just cut it however long I feel like I need to cut it. So you would want to cut it as long as the longer the better, though, because you don't want to cut it too short and then regret it. So we're gonna end up knotting all the strings onto the piece of wood. So this is the pattern that I chose for this new wall hanger that I'm doing. You count the top row, and mine has 40 pixels. So 40 pixels or 40 squares would be like cut in half. That would be 20. So you're gonna need 20 pieces of string of the same length. I'm pretty sure people ask this all the time, or people are gonna ask this. Let's just say your pattern has 41 strings or 41 squares or whatever on the first row. That's obviously an odd number. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut 21 strings, and it's gonna be 42. You're gonna have an extra string. So I'm gonna show you exactly how I do it when I have an extra string. So you can see what you can do. I don't know how other people do it because I don't know anybody that does this, but I'm just going to show you how I do it so you can see what you can do. Okay, so we have our wooden stick that's already cut because I told you that I did purchase like long pieces of wooden sticks. Okay, so I have my 20 strings, which is actually gonna be 40 when I fold them all in half. I hate the fluff that gets on these strings. I am actually switching to new floss, which I haven't tried yet, but I cannot wait. So what we're gonna do is make sure you count your strings and double count, triple count if you have to, because you do not want to have an extra piece of string unless you need to have that extra piece of string. That'll be the only way. Other than that, you don't want any extras in there, and it's gonna mess up your pattern and everything. Okay, so I have all my string cut. You're gonna take the first strand and you're going to have it folded in half. It already has to be folded in half when you're ready to put this on to the piece of wood. So mine, as you can see, already folded in half. You're gonna take the wooden stick. I hold it with my 2 fingers at the top, my index and my middle finger. As you can see, I have it over the piece of wood. The loop at the top, you're going to open it up, and you're going to grab the midsection of the string from the other side and pull it through the loop, and you're going to tighten it down. Okay, so now that I've done that, that's how it would look. And you're going to grab your second strand, and we're going to knot, just keep knotting it the same exact way. When you do grab your new strand, the one that you're going to knot onto next, you're going to want to make sure that both ends of the string meet each other. You don't want uneven ends or whatever. At the end of the day, even if you do get uneven ends when you're done starting your wall hanger, you can just trim it off and it'll look nice and neat. So I am going over the piece of wood and grabbing the midsection of it and pulling it through the loop, and then I pull the strings down. Oh, you can see that it's getting loose. They get a little loose. All you have to keep doing is pulling them down. Just pull them down and they'll go back to being tight. But just keep pulling them down. I know it looks like they'll come undone, but they don't. Just make sure you keep pulling the string down. So I have 4 pieces of string now. Each strand, since it is folded in half, it makes it an even amount. It'll always be an even amount. So I am starting onto my 3rd strand. I'm doing it the exact same way that I did the first 2. I'm going over the piece of wood. I'm not going under it or anything differently. Everything is the same exact way that I did the first one, because you want it to look the same. You don't want it to look messy, or that's how I like it to look. But everyone has their own way of doing things. So I'm going on to the 4th strand, and I am done doing that one. As you can see, it looks, it's starting to look good. My ends are a little ugly, but I am going to trim it when I am fully done. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So I already have 4 strands. It makes it 2, 4, 6, 8 strings so far. And I'm going to continue putting them on. And as soon as you get the hang of this, it's going to just be getting easier and easier. I am on my 6th one. I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm not doing anything differently. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We got 12 strings already so far. The front and the back look exactly the same. If you feel like you did it differently, just keep looking at the front and the back. You can see the front. You can see the knotting on the front. And the back, just, you can see the back of it. So I'm going to keep on doing that until I get the full 20 strands on there. All right, so now I have only 18 strands on here. I'm going to put my last 2. Which, by the way, I just wanted to mention that I hold my stick with my fingers. I don't know if there's any other way you can do it. I always done it like that. But if there's a better way, just let me know. So I have 19 strands on here so far. And I'm going to do my last strand, which you're going to put it over the piece of wood and grab the midsection of it and pull it through, and you're going to pull it down. All right, see how it comes loose? All you got to do is just tighten them up. And now we are officially done. I am officially done putting all 20 strands on my wooden stick. And I am so happy that, I'm so happy that I'm done. I'm so happy that I'm done, and I'm going to show you next how to do it if you were to add an extra strand or if you're doing an odd number pattern. Okay, so since I do have 40, mine's is even. I don't have to do or add anything else. And I'm going to show you exactly how I keep my wall hangers in place when I do start the pattern. I do start knotting. Okay, so that white background was actually a piece of white background that I have that I only use that when I'm taking pictures or I'm doing videos. So this is how I hold my wall hanger sometimes when I don't have tape. And then I start knotting, I will start knotting. But since I do have tape on me right now, I'm going to show you how I do it with tape. As you can see, I do have residue of some tape that I used in the past, and it got all over my clipboard. This is my clipboard that I use to make wall hangers and friendship bracelets. So I'm going to unclip this, and I'm going to show you how I would normally do it if I do have tape on hand. Okay, so I would cut 2 pieces of tape, and I would tape each side down onto the clipboard. This tape is actually really good because I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's called masking tape. It holds on really, really well. Like, let's just say I put it on today, the tape will never come off until I'm ready to take it off. So it just holds on really well. Like, versus the other clear tape, the clear tape will literally just come off on its own. So now that I have everything all set up and ready, that's how I would start knotting. Okay, let's first say, like, remember how I told you if you're doing an odd number pattern that you wanted to take an extra strand of string out? So this is how I would do it if I had an odd number. Let's just say I was doing a pattern of 39 strings, not 40, but I did cut an amount. But I did cut an even amount, and I want to take that extra row out, and I don't want to add an extra row or anything like that. So what I would do is I would grab a strand in the middle versus the end, because I feel like grabbing a piece of string in the middle would be way better than grabbing the end or the front. Okay, so this is how I would do it. All right, as you can see, I literally am pulling it to the back. All right, so I fixed it. I taped everything back up. I fixed it, and it looks good. It literally looks normal. It looks like a normal wall hanger, and that extra string is out of my face. I'm not going to knot an extra row. That is not me. That is not something I would do. I'm not going to add something. If my pattern's 39, I'm not going to make it 40. For example, this one was like, what, 37? I cut it to make it 38, but I took that extra 38. I literally took the last string out, which I kind of do regret, because I feel like it's better to grab one from in the middle than versus the end or the front. So this is how it would look, and that's how I would do it, because I'm not going to add an extra row. I would never do that, because I feel like that's just, I don't know. I would never do that. It's so lame. Okay, so this is how I start off a wall hanger, and this is exactly how it would look after I'm done. I would tape it up, and I'm ready, and I'm gonna start knotting. I know I haven't been on YouTube in a long time, and there's a lot of reasons behind that, but I'm planning on actually, if you want me to film the tutorial on black and white Zetsu, I can do that. I'll be more than happy to do that. So I hope this video helped, and thanks for watching.